Okay, I'm gonna start by apologizing for the horrible time lapse you're about to witness because I had literally no idea what I was doing for like the entire thing. I don't know, maybe you'll see it in the video, maybe you won't, I don't know. Actually, that kind of connects to a lot of what I do creatively in that I have literally no idea what I'm doing ever. I haven't looked at the script that I'm reading off of right now for 3 days because my house is a noise machine 24/7. Oh, and by the way, that's the reason why I'm whispering so low and also why my mic sounds like that because everyone in my house is asleep because they finally went to sleep and I can record this audio now. Okay. Anyways, I'm planning more stuff in the same world as that last animatic I made that used Ain't That a Kick in the Head, and that character whose name is Maxi. Uh, yeah, okay, I'm gonna talk about tablets now. So, basically, in this world, every major megacorporation's military has surrendered all their tactical decisions to AI. There's a few reasons why they do this. The first is just because it's cheaper than hiring a bunch of generals, because galaxies are big. You'd have to hire a lot of generals, so instead you can just hire this AI to do everything. It also makes faster decisions than humans with more holistic input, and it's an environment where major losses on a human scale anyway are usually insignificant, so it's okay if the AI makes a mistake and it costs, like 1 William soldiers for a failed feint. So the first body to actually integrate AI into tactical decision making was the RCA, the Rostov Corporate Army. The RCA is actually what you see in the image I'm drawing right now on the screen. And they actually have the most sophisticated AI. So, on a tangent now, so the RCA is a part of Rostov Mining and Transportation, which is a company that has a lot of lore that I wrote, and it's not going to fit in 3 minutes, so I'm going to yap about that in a different video, if I remember to do that. Anyways, the RCA is a part of what Maxi is a part of. That's the guy with the pink collar and puffs in the picture, and also in the last animatic. But anyways, it's a mega corporation, so the bottom line is the thing that matters the most. Not that RMT has been in the green since it even established the army, because running a government is anything but profitable. But anyways, because of its focus on profits, RCA is horribly funded. All the contracts go to the lowest bidder. The majority of the officer corps is actually unpaid because they're acquired through a college tuition payment program, and of course there's no veteran support whatsoever. RMT is constantly in a state of war because the AI realized that if it's at war, then the RCA goes from being classified as an unnecessary corporate asset to a critical corporate asset on the spreadsheet. And basically, it just magically turns this huge financial deadweight into a company critical asset. And that's the only reason why RMT is in a constant state of war. Basically, what happened was RMT went into the red after it formed a navy to fight space pirates, and then its executive board immediately went down the insane tech bro AI research and eat all your nation and corporation neighbors path, and then it somehow worked out just enough to keep the company from collapsing, but only if they maintain a constant state of war. So anyways, that was a tangent, but yeah, RCA has the most sophisticated AI, but its AI is focused on the big picture stuff. And also early in the data training phase, they kind of just forgot to make it care about casualties, and since they draft so many people anyways, it just didn't really matter on the battlefield anyway. On the civilian politics side, that's a whole different mess. It very much matters there. But on the battlefield, they drafted so many people, it just didn't really matter that the AI sacrificed so many people. It also has a bad habit of telling people exactly what they need to do without telling them about the bigger picture, which is good for information secrecy, but it's bad for any battlefield flexibility, because what you see is, in that image, advance 100 meters, that's the only information you're given. You're not given any more information about that, so there's no flexibility whatsoever. But this also has the benefit of meaning if you're trying to lead or if you, as an AI, if the AI is trying to lead a unit into a tactical sacrifice, the unit's not going to know about it, so they're more likely to follow those orders. Obviously, boots on the ground soldiers are not really happy with this situation because they're really expendable and they're just constantly cycled through. So why are they following this? There's a few reasons. First is because RMT is a megacorporation government, and while it never hits the green, it does exert authoritarian control. So it maintains that fear of repression, So if you don't toe the line here, they might hit your family back at home. And two, they have the Rostov Corporate Security Force, the RCSF, and they're the boots on the ground that boot the RCA into submission. And there's a whole mess of hierarchy and superiority that hasn't been sorted out yet because the RCSF is actually a different entity that's not part of the RCA, even though it kind of acts as a military police force, but it's just such an organizational headache because technically the RCSF existed before the RCA. It's a whole organizational headache, and if you haven't taken the hint yet, RMT is not a very smart organization. Basically, they just learned how to exploit a market niche, and then they got overconfident and became a government. So yeah, that's a whole headache. Yeah, okay. I'm done. That's all I wrote. Bye.